Hey everybody, it's Gomedex, and welcome back to another premiere draft of Final Fantasy. Without further ado, let's get into the pack one, pick one here. We got some sweet uncommon options out of this pack. I'm not super high on Noctis. Got to play a 3-color deck for him, and he's not the biggest payoff at that point, mainly a 4-3 lifelink, but you can try to do some cute artifact reanimation stuff that's much better in constructed than draft, though. There's not a lot of great artifacts to be recasting, because most of them are going to sit on the board forever and just not end up in your grave like these equipments. So that leaves us with great interaction like Battle Menu and Eject, or solid cheap creatures like Tonberry and side quest Raise a Chocobo. Raise a Chocobo, you really want to get a ton of other birds in your deck in order to have the chance of high rolling with it and going really hard, so I'm not a huge fan of that. And then Tonberry only plays the aggressive, doesn't do any blocking, so that leaves the two pieces of interaction, and I'm going for Battle Menu over Eject because it is really, really flexible. The main abilities you're going to use are Make a Creature or Kill a Big Creature, but even that's pretty flexible, and every now and then you might be in a position where you want to use ability or item, get the +4 or the gain 4. Pick 2, a much easier pick here. We have one incredible rare, and we're just going to take her. Jill, Shiva's Dominance is a 3-mana 2/2, bounces any permanent when she hits the board, and then later she can flip into this summon creature, this saga creature, that then flips back into Jill, gets all this value over and over and over again if the game goes long and she sticks around, so she has to be killed by her opponent's removal spells, and if they do throw removal at her, you still got a bounce spell out of her for 3. So a really, really excellent card. Pick number 3 now. We've got really solid stuff out of green. Summon Fenrir is a fantastic uncommon. It's going to ramp you up, get another +1/+1 counter on one of your creatures, and draw you another card if it sticks around. That is really, really nice. But if your opponent doesn't have a blocker, you also get a swing for 3 somewhere in there. Sometimes it might make a profitable block somewhere. This card is super, super good to where I'm definitely willing to speculate on green here. It's very early. We're not tied to white. We're not even tied to blue. But obviously I would really like to be green-blue now between Chill and Summon Fenrir as excellent cards in these colors. Pack 1, pick 4. This is a super filler pack all around. There's nothing exciting at all. We could just take an on-curve Chocobo for a green deck. Fine equipment for the white deck. There are literally no blue cards in this pack, which is not a good sign after taking Jill, and kind of a strange sign since we got past the Jill as well. I'll just take the filler green card. I think I like our green spell a lot better than our white spell here. Pick 5. Relatively late cornered by black mages here, and we're still not locked on any color. But there's Syncopate for blue is really nice interaction there. The fact that it exiles is great against graveyard abilities, of which there are quite a few, with reanimation and flashback and stuff. Stops any enter effects from happening, and I like my blue a lot here. Yeah, I'll take an on-color card over cornered by black mages. I do think this is a little better than Syncopate, but Jill is super sweet, and Syncopate is still really good. So I'm going to go for the Syncopate here. Wind Crystal, much like all of the crystals, it's 10 mana before it does anything. Technically, it does make your white spells cheaper, but like that's not doing a whole lot for you. So it's 10 mana before it really does its big thing. So very high entry fee. Once you get there, it can win a game, but I find that those are a little too narrow, a little too finicky, because you will be losing some games before you get to all that high mana stuff. Pick 6, pretty happy with T-Rexar, but Anima is like a solid value play if we wanted to speculate off color. I'm not into it enough to go off color over just taking T-Rexar, which is a great flexible top end card. Pick 7. Pack is mediocre. I guess card collection's probably fine. Draw 3, discard 2. If there are 8 or more cards in your grave, you get a 4/4 flyer that crews for 1. That's really easy to crew. And a lot of decks in this set can end up with a bunch of cards in grave. Yeah, even just in green, we can draft a bunch of town greeters that mill 4 when they enter. Pick 8. That's kind of crazy. 2 Chador in a row. That's very funny. I don't think that card's actually good. Call the Mountain Chocobo, Vane's Treachery, Gaius Van Baelsar, and Zidane are all genuinely really good. We can't really take Zidane here, so we just take some other random off-color card. Probably Vane's Treachery. It's the most splashable. It only requires 1 mana of its color. And it's a removal spell, so we can wait to cast it till really late. Pick 9 seems like a good Gubu Gardener deck, but the green-blue dual land is helpful too, especially if we end up splashing a 3rd color. Having a land that's both a green and a blue source off of just the 1 land is nice. It helps us cut 1 forest or 1 island while still maintaining that high green-blue count towards playing some off-color lands for the random splashes. So I'm actually going to go Guado Salam over the Gubu Gardener, but I think both are really nice there. Pick 10, yeah, if I end up low on removal, we can really black splash towards it, but also a pick 10 Vane's Treachery is a solid sign for black just being an open color in general. And we're only 3 cards deep into blue and 3 cards deep into green. So having 2 Vane's Treacheries and seeing them pretty late in pack 1 opens us up. Wow, yeah, seeing 3 of them really opens us up for the pivot if we open up anything good in black next pack. Or even if we don't at this point, seeing this pick 11 is really wild. I'll take it over Trino, which would also be good if we want to play all of these colors. Yeah, okay, this is maybe the most open I've seen black be in the set in a long time. Arimon's better up front, but Fang has the higher potential upside. If we go green-black, then we could have a very cute Vanille plus Fang deck and try to get Ragnarok out on board, which would be really, really fun. Wow, is black open. Okay. Yeah, and then we opened a great black rare. I'll take this. There's probably at least 1 black drafter. If there is even 1 black drafter here, we will not wheel Primal Odin. So as open as it looked, with literally every black card that we saw coming back, we should not pass this, because this thing's completely absurd. So we'll take the Primal Odin. I got sidetracked with my train of thought about Fang, but that's okay. Basically, there are good ways to play Fang in a blue-black or green-black deck, is what I was trying to say. So, now that we got Lock Cole, we have Lock Cole and Jill really wanting to go blue-black here. So I would hopefully like to end up in blue-black, although, again, green-black would be a lot of fun. Being able to try to meld Ragnarok out could be really cool. But pack 2, pick 2, there's the Town Greeter for green-black, which I think the big reason to do that would literally just be because I think trying to meld Fang and Vanille together is very cute. It's almost definitely better to just take Swallowed by the Leviathan here. An excellent counterspell, particularly for the blue-black deck. We certainly take the blue cards over the black cards because of how open black seemed, but because the only black card in this pack is Resentful Revelation, we are somewhat unlikely to wheel it. But there's a chance. Higher than the chance of wheeling Swallowed by Leviathan. You know, I could be blue-black and still splash in a Vanille if we find one. I don't think I could convince myself not to do that. It's just too funny. There's a blue-black dual land. Quistis is very nice for this deck, with a bunch of cheap instants and sorceries that are high impact, particularly all these cheap Vane's Treacheries. She is an excellent Snapcaster Mage style flashbacker, so I like Quistis a ton here. Enough to take her over Trino for sure, but Evil Reawakened also has some fun synergy. I'm going to take Quistis. Pick 4, very easy Dreams of Laguna here, very good synergy for the blue-black self-mill strategy. Surveil 1, draw a card, instant speed, you can flash back again later. Very, very easy and clear Dreams of Vanille. That's the pick. Pick 5, we have Eject, Ultimecia, Retrieve the Esper. Ultimecia is a really nice finisher for the blue-black deck, really fun one. She gives your opponent a lot of time to kill her before she does the time walk thing, but the time walk thing is still super fun, somewhat viable. Eject is probably better, but I've got a solid amount of interaction here. Triple Treachery, Swallowed, Syncopate. I'm going to go for Ultimecia. We're going for the big stuff, the fun stuff. I try to pop off with this deck. I don't have any 2-mana creatures right now, so Scorpion Sentinel actually looks really reasonable. But card collection probably plays better the more you have. So the double up seems fun there too. Trader, Phaidon seem okay. I'm gonna go card collection. Ooh, triple card collection. Really collected all the cards with this one. Let's see if we can get a Laboratory Maniac off the bonus sheets, shall we? If we're gonna draw this many cards. This is getting silly now. Now we do really want some 2-mana creatures. Resentful Revelation's probably better, because I've got so much 4-mana card draw now and not a lot to do on turn 2. It's got Flashback too. Yeah, Revelation's really good, but card collection is so funny there. This is an easy Sephiroth's Intervention, and again, it goes to show how open black is here, that we got a pick 8 Sephiroth's Intervention. Certainly good for this deck. I'll take whatever filler 2-mana creature I can get. Come on in, Dire Rat. Kane is just stupid in draft. You're literally giving your opponent your rare, and then they give it back, and then it's just not made for draft. It's not good here. We wield Resentful Revelation. We actually did it. The only black card in the pack when we saw it the first time. Take those, and I'm happy to have it here. Not a big fan of Rook turrets. This is a 5-mana play, this Quistis. Could Syncopate on 2 if I'm lucky. There's the Intervention at 4. A lot of non-creature spells. Black Mage's Rod's probably better than Dark Knight's Great Sword in this deck, especially because I also don't have a lot of 2-mana plays. Blitzball's playable in here because I'm trying to dream of Vanille. Okay. Pack 3, pick 1. It's just the rare for sure, right? So this is a 2-mana 1/1, but every time you cast a non-creature spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. It's not +1/+1 till end of turn like Prowess. So it's a 2-mana 1/1 with super prowess, and you can equip this to other creatures later to give them the super prowess that leaves them with +1/+1 counters. Also, if you do draw 3 cards in one turn, then you get another +1/+1 counter, which is relevant with the card collections that we have here. But I don't think anything else in our deck does that. But I mean, triple card collection, that's something. Cornered by Black Mages looks very nice in this deck. We've got a high non-creature spell count and a high removal spell count, having more. It's kind of the more the merrier kind of thing. The one thing I don't like about it is it's a pretty restrictive mana cost, double black. So when you're a deck that's splashing into a third color, that is a genuine downside. It's not going to get me to not splash Vanille in, though. Pack 3, pick 3, another Vane's Treachery. I could definitely use some more cheap removal. They play really well with Quistis. I've got very few cheap creatures, so just killing our opponent's cheap creatures instead is the game plan. Kinnan, Seymour Guado would be a very fun splash. But I think Treachery is just a much safer pick here. Kinnan is just going to be here for the 7-mana ability. And a lot of my creatures are humans, so it's not even super great. Yeah, we'll just take Treachery. Pick 4, another Sephiroth's Intervention seems awesome. Shiva's cool too, but I think this is the kind of deck that just wants to stack up on a million removal spells. Shiva's a super great tempo play, so if you're like really creature heavy, I think she gets a lot better. But we're super spell heavy, which does make Vanille a lot worse too. And Fang doesn't look particularly good because we don't have a lot of flashback. Going back on my word here. About to cut Fang and Vanille. But I mean, look at how much more consistent and synergistic the deck looks without the green splash. Man. I'll live the dream in the future. I mean, they are way better when we're green-black at the core instead of splashing Vanille in, right? Because these, especially Vanille, works a lot better in Golgari, where we have a lot more permanents. I have so many non-permanent cards now. Yeah. Alright. We will just be a super streamlined, super powerful, super synergistic blue-black spells deck instead. What a bummer. My deck's just gonna be a really good deck. You hate to see it. Double side quest Hunt the Mark makes all of our removal spells insane now. Because that's enough to like consistently be using this as a win condition as well. We are getting a treasure token every time we blow up one of our opponent's creatures during our turn. And then when we have 3 treasure tokens, this flips into a 5/6, which is insane. We're getting Sephiroth's Interventions, pick 7 here. There was no way that anybody trying to win in this draft pod, in the seat that I'm in here, there's no way they should be drafting a non-black deck. This is just such a black seat in this draft pod. I'm probably going to cut mostly creatures here and just be on all spells all day. Be fun. I'm not playing 4 Ari, man. Vince's Limit Break is useless in this deck with how few creatures we have, so that leaves Merchant, which I'm probably also cutting. It's a Merfolk, Looter, draw a card, discard a card every turn, but you have to keep paying mana on it. I do like the sack later, then draw 3 cards out of it in one fell swoop. But, you know. Final Days is awful in this deck, actually. 4 mana for 2 2/2s. The flashback is not going to get that many creatures. 10 maximum if I run all of these and this. A lot of my creatures are super filler and they're going to get cut. That said, for Rayer's like even worse, honestly. This is still 4 mana for 2 2/2s at least. But probably cutting them. Well, that's cool to wheel for the collection. But I'm not going to splash it in. Gaius is probably not very good. We don't have a lot of expendable stuff to sack to him. But I guess when our opponent has like a good enchantment on the board, he's still good. Pick 13. We might be the only black player. Pick 13. Boy, oh boy. All right. Well, this deck's gonna be sick. Questus is gonna be ridiculous in here. I'm gonna single black mage might like that's our win con. Get 1 black mage on board. I like Black Mage's Rod a lot in here. And the Planisphere for the same reason. These cards are going to be really strong in this deck, especially this one. Getting a +1/+1 counter a little bit better than a deal 1, I think. I don't think I can cut any more creatures, or else there will be games where we're probably just milling ourselves and dying, because with such a low creature count, our opponent can pretty easily have just their 1 or 2 pieces of removal left for when I play my 1 big late game Ultimecia or Odin or something. So I need some other filler creatures along the curve to be winning the game once I deal with all their stuff, especially with the self-mill from the card collections. So yeah, I'm not gonna cut any more creatures here. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These I can reasonably flip a decent amount of time, so I guess it kind of plays like 10. So that's cool. I will cut the Final Days because the actual creature count is 6, which means this will never flash back for anything good. It's 4 mana for 2 2/2s, and that's it. 2 more cuts to go. We don't have a lot of good creatures for crewing these magic cards. This is actually not a super good card collection deck. I don't really want to cut more than 1, though, because I still like having some card selection here. Draw 3, discard 2. Dig through Flood in the late game and find more removal. Seems just really nice. But I don't think I should be playing all 3 of those at the very least. So we'll cut down to 2 of that. 1 final cut. Something tells me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 removal spells and 2 counter spells that I should cut like 1 of Sephiroth's Intervention or something here. Actually, oh wait, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 removal spells. A sack spell, a bounce spell, and 2 counter spells. Oh my god, this deck. This is magical Christmas land for evil people. And I'm evil. Yeah, I mean, when you look at it that way and you count up the Hunt, the Marks, and the Primal Odin, I think it actually is pretty reasonable to cut a 1 of Sephiroth's Intervention. And maybe even the Gaius? Because again, we don't have the good stuff to sack for him. But that's part of what's so good about him is he has all those options for when you don't have a good thing to sack for him. You just pick whatever you don't have on your board, but your opponent has on theirs. I don't know, this just doesn't seem like a great Gaius deck. It's definitely an incredible Sephiroth's Intervention deck. Yeah, sure, we'll go super low on creatures. Get out of here, Gaius. Who needs creatures? This is going to be the deck right here. Yeah, I mean, we kind of just went over the deck, so overall it's infinite removal. Really good interaction. The biggest flaw that this deck is going to have is a little bit of a lack of finishers by running a really low creature count. But wow, can we, I think in a lot of games, get a firm control of the game. So this is a really, really exciting one. And yeah, I just want to hop into the gameplay and see how this bad boy does. All right, here we are for game one, and this sure is the deck we drafted. We will keep that. What are you gonna do? Mulligan into a hand from a different deck? These are the cards we drafted. We'll keep them. White Mage's Staff to start things off. Oh my god. There's the thumbnail image right there. Alright, hold up. we'll thumbnail image that. Can you see the other Sephiroths? Yeah, you can. You can see all of them. Perfect. Alright. Had to screen cap that real quick. Probably should wait till they move to declare attackers at least. Okay, we'll kill that too. Now that they're blue too, they could have a counter here. But they're red, so they could have haste. They go to equip the staff to the shopkeep. That's going to be miserable for them. Samurai's Katana. That's going to be miserable for me. It's too big. Okay, this is not a super good matchup because all this removal I'm doing, they have a creature or an equipment left behind for later. I'm gonna have to card collection here, I think. We need to find something other than removal. Odin is something big. Rod is also good. Oof, fourth blue source. No second black here is actually pretty devastating, but I don't think I can not keep Odin. Maybe I could ditch the island, actually, since I also need a swamp to get to Odin anyway. No, I guess the rod isn't even really blocking that well. Yeah. Alright. Okay, that's a good removal target. Hey, look who it is. Yeah, if they got the hexproof trick, they got the hexproof trick. They have expensive equip abilities, so we might soak up some of their mana by waiting. Oh god. Samurai's Katana is one of the best uncommons by win rate in this set. It is very strong. Okay, Quistis is legit. They probably have removal in hand because we've played literally no creatures so far, but what are you going to do? I can't Quistis till I have 7 mana because I need to play an intervention and not a treachery. Unless I sacrifice Quistis, but obviously like that's not gonna get the removal out of their hand if I sack the Quistis off the board. So they did have the removal for that, which is sad. Flip these card collections soon. I need 8 engrave. So yeah, if I play this, I flip them, but then I don't have the blocker for that. We just intervention waiting for land a lot. Land 7 for Quistis. I again should have waited. Maybe they would have put the other Catan on it. That's a beautiful graveyard. But I can't Quistis anything right now. flip some card collections. I do need land 7, but these spells are too good to give up on. It is kind of risky to tap out here. I probably should have kept the Treachery and then just not played that. Wow, no, not that Destroy and Equipment removal. Actually perfect there. Sad. Yeah, no, I forgot. The Katana's giving haste to any creature they play is super, super bad for me. I'm going to start suplexing magic cards. I would love to see that, honestly. Or a Sight one? That's so good for me, because they're pretty much irrelevant overall. We're big chillin'. I think we win, right? It's a top deck war where I have 4 pieces of interaction from here on out. Do they have the mana to equip that? They have exactly the mana to equip that. They've got 5 for the haste, which means I'd have to Sephiroth's Intervention. I guess it doesn't have a relevant enter effect, so it is better to intervention than Swallowed by Leviathan. It's line 7 for the Quistis if they play something they can't give haste. It's instant or sorcery only, right? Yeah. These Katanas are not going to give Quistis a good opportunity here. Literal Aerith. I played all my Sephiroth's interventions. I can't do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they can give the haste here. So we got to do the counter. Surveil 2, look for any creature. These are not creatures, but I will keep that. You know we're the villains today when, like, Aerith is my favorite Final Fantasy character. And I didn't even feel remotely bad. All I felt bad about was that I couldn't do it in a more flavorful manner. There's a creature, sort of. Wow, they are all clumped in the bottom. I know we don't have a lot of creatures. But I do have Ultimecia and a Jill and a Lock Cole as like the 3 most win conditioning creatures, and they're all gone. I guess I hit the Saga one, that's also a win conditioning one, and the Planisphere. Yeah, no. I've hit most of them here. Oh god, I'm gonna mill out because I'm not gonna play anything. Am I gonna just Quistis? Quistis to suplex one of the Katanas? So I just have a creature on board? I don't have the mana to do that and still have Intervention up, and I need Intervention up to not randomly die to something with Katana on it. Like that's a double striker with Katana on it would definitely kill me. I mean, technically not quite, but you know, I'd go to like 2. Do I have to draw and discard? Oh my god, I have to draw and discard this. I'm gonna mill out! My biggest threat's too deep! If they're out of removal. Ultimecia or the extra turn kill. Oh man. Oh, they don't have the 5 for Katana. We're fine. Oh my god, we're fine. Thank goodness. If they could have done that and hasted Zidane, that would have been so mega bad. They got self-destructs. They got the Wombo combo. Be cute. They don't have the Wombo combo. That's good. Okay. Get the treasure here, probably. I kind of want to do get the black mages for more damage. I don't think I'm going to have time to get 3 treasures on board at this rate. Maybe I'm supposed to just play Quistis. Yeah, if I play Quistis, I've got another threat immediately on the board. Keep these removals for later. Might have to just not attack with Lock soon. There's Jill. Okay. I just needed Jill or Ultimecia. Now I can stop attacking with Lock, and I probably kill them before I mill. Barely. Barely, barely. Put Quistis back in hand, which is pretty cute. Quistis for 3. Suplex one of the katanas? Sure. Six cards left. Ultimacy is one of them, as long as she's not the literal bottom. The extra turn plus 7/7 menace helps a lot at us not milling out. Buff the Quistis to draw a card. Pass turn. I think it's more damage to flip to Shiva. It's gonna give us another bounce soon. This would be so embarrassing if I lose this game to mill. Well, we've almost hit every land. Yes, I missed 2 damage on one turn to get 4 on this turn, but then chapter 3 this goes back to the 2/2 and I don't attack. It's actually more damage to not transform. Because over the course of 3 turns I would be doing 6 instead of 4. That's kind of wild. It's more damage to not flip. Equipping for 1 is bad here. For me. But now I can play cornered by black mages. I think it was probably really important to have played that earlier. And this is where we may have flubbed it. I have 11 mana. It's 5 to cast Ultimecia and 8 to flip. I need 13 lands on the board. I think I milled too many lands to be able to play an Ultimecia and flipper in the same turn. I'm at 12 out of 13 though. Yeah, I guess I could do it. If I pick up Quistis, I can Fate of the Suncrest their Katana. That's 8 mana, 3 for Quistis and 5 to kill the Katana. I don't think I'm worried about dying any more to that. I'm just worried about dying to mill. So I don't want to bounce anything, really. Maybe I guess their treasure token. I really don't want the card collection to hit the board again. Ultimecia's bottom 3, by the way. Oh god, they got a 2 mana spell? That's relevant? Oh! If Ultimecia is the bottom card, we lose now. Oh, that is brutal. I have a 1 in 40 chance of losing this game. I think I play this for the treasure. No, because then I'm out of removal if they draw another creature. If I play this, I'm playing it just to get a treasure token, so I have 13 mana if I top deck Ultimecia next turn. But they're drawing blind off the top, so we could also just have them not draw removal for Ultimecia, and that works too. Okay, she's not the literal bottom card, so if they don't top deck the removal for her here, that's the kill. Next turn. Yeah, I was 1 mana off from playing her and flipping her this turn. If I did play for the treasure token, we would have had the kill right now, I think. Oh, I should have put Syncopate first. Technically. Oh. Yeah, it does matter. I was going to say, wait, it doesn't matter because we're flipping her and getting a turn right now. No, we're not. We're a mana off from that. Oh! All right, we win game 1 with 2 cards left in the deck. And I expect that's probably going to be similar to future wins. That's the big flaw with our deck. Not a ton of finishers. But wow, did we have the removal, the interaction to keep that game under control. Hello, Arena. 0 wins. Pretty suspicious, I think. I'm going to give that a reboot real quick. All right, well, I've rebooted Arena, and apparently that win doesn't count. We're 1-0 right now, but Arena says we're 0-0. Cool. I'm just going to say the actual record every game, and then I'll explain if we get to 7 wins and it doesn't end the draft. We're 1-0 right now, heading into game 2, no matter what Arena says about it. This is a really nice opening hand here. Our deck does not have a lot of creatures, does not have a lot of threats, so when we can get multiple of them in the opener, that is pretty sweet, because we're incredibly likely to draw the removal, the interaction as such. I am not going to just kill a rat, though, right now. I'm going to get locked down. And just not attack with our wizard. Mono black from our opponent. Which honestly, with how open black was in this pod, we could have played mono black, but it was definitely better to have the blue splash in here. Some really strong blue cards in this deck too. So let's just hold the mana up. I've got Vane's Treachery if they do something funky trying to kill Lockcoal. This looks pretty funky to me, but Lockcoal survives. Are they just going to Treachery themselves? If that's the case, they could have just sacked the rat anyway, so... I guess I'll move this to... You know what? No, I won't. I could move it to Lockcoal so that we can try to get +1/+1 counters on our lifelinker, but this is already the Lightning Rod for removal, and they're a black deck, so most of the removal spells they have are going to kill this no matter how big it is. And I'd rather be able to bulk up somebody else, since that's very likely to die. So we have 2 separate really good threats. They can't just kill all of our good stuff with 1 spell, like they could if I just put a bunch of counters on Lockcoal. Then 1 Sephiroth's Intervention ends my whole game plan. And we don't want that. I guess I should have waited on the land till I see if I'm drawing and discarding here. So I could change my choice. Sephiroth's Intervention? Yeah, you got him. Black-white from our opponent. White Auracite. Goodbye, equipment. Get to keep poking for 1 every turn, though. We're vibing, we're chilling. As long as I'm not getting beat down, I think our deck has the good late game inevitability. This is going to be a very patient draft. Not what you normally see me doing. I am very much an attacker. An aggro player. I'm sure you all know by now. Even all the mid-range decks, I like just trying to curve and get as much tempo advantage as possible. But here, we're vibing. Hey, Judge. Magitech armor. They can't sack anything at instant speed, so the judge will die to a single treachery, which will give me my second of 3 treasures for our hunt mark to be able to turn that into a creature, which will be very important here, very relevant. We do have to kill the creatures during our turn. We need this to trigger during our end step. And it's if a creature died, create a treasure. So killing 2 creatures in 1 turn does not give me 2 treasures. So we'll wait on killing the armor. Alright, and then we'll just untap, kill another Judge Magister. Take 4, go to 18. Pretty fine. Get my 5/6 and my 5/6 the blocker for the 4/4. 3 treasures to give it indestructible. I would like to kill Ash before Ash attacks. It does kind of mean I want a double removal here. Still only get the 1 treasure, so I want to keep as much mana up as possible, so we'll go... I guess the Judge gets a counter if I kill Ash, so... Intervention the Judge, then Treachery the Ash for only 2 next turn. Ooh, good draw. Good draw on this deck. So now, since I'm using the 2 mana removal, I still have the mana up to give our 5/6 indestructible, sacking one of the many treasures that we have, if they do something funky. The flip side of this doesn't give me any treasure. Just seeing if like trading a 1/1 into the 1/1 on a future turn is going to be relevant. It's not really. So I could have done it right there if I really wanted. Looks like we're both playing off the top now. But we've got Yasmat, Ultimate Mark, or Yasmat? I don't know. Hi, Jill. Yeah, incredible draws, incredible. Boop the token. If I boop the Aura Sight, they can just exile a better one of our cards now. If I boop the armor, they recast and get another 1/1. Don't care about the rat. I am super chill with trading a treasure token into the Magitech armor here. Cool, so we just deal 5, which I'm also super cool with. This gives itself indestructible only. Alright. Could the armor send it? I'm at 20, we'll take that. Go to 16. Hello. So if they don't play more creatures, this thing's just gonna win. Because I can flip Jill and give it unblockable? Wow, never mind, even if they do get more creatures, the thing's just gonna win. Jesus. I kind of feel like my position's good enough, I should just hold on to this. Genuinely don't know what's better here. Because they could have that board wipe. There's a double white and 3 board wipe. I think I'm just vibing, honestly. 7, 8, 9 damage. Yeah, we just kill them in 2 swings. Could do 8 and keep Jill back in case something weird happens and still kill them in 2 swings. Easily. Yeah, I guess I'll flip her. More damage next turn. All right, we are 2-0 heading into game 3. Here we are on the play for game 3. Very solid opener. We got the curve out here. Planisphere, cornered by black mages. The side quest to draw more removal. Primal Odin? Oh, this deck is stacked. This deck is an absolute dream. Playing against black-white, please play any creature. Literally any creature and I'll be happy. Rat, fine. Rat, deal with some black mages. They do get the treasure token here, get to jump up the mana curve with that. But now, I have a black mage for the rest of the game. And a +1/+1 counter on our wizard. Okay, no, they can kill a 0/1 if they really want to. So maybe not for the rest of the game, but still good. Drawing the curve out here, we drew the 5-drop in between our 4 and our 6. There's the Judge Magister. If I draw any removal, I'll just kill that instead of drawing cards for the turn. But I do have the Hunt the Mark for it again later as well. Did not draw the removal for it, and sadly, because they sacked the treasure, it's too big for my 3/3 here. I guess the trade isn't bad because I can just re-equip anyway. So the Hunt the Mark gives me the treasure for Odin if I don't just keep them around for flipping it. So I'm kind of cool to discard land here. Oh right, the card draw makes it big enough they have to double block. That's so good. I forgot how well the card collection synergizes with the Astrologian's Planisphere. I don't know if it's a hard G or a soft G. Astrologian. Astrologer? Astrology? So Astrologian? Maybe. There's Delivery Moogle. They're trying to race here, which is very possible for them to do if they just have one removal spell on this gigantic 5/5. But we've got the Odin coming up on 6 now, guaranteed. I don't even have to use a treasure for it. We're still getting wizard pings. Like in this position. I think I kill the menacing creature that keeps getting bigger instead of the Delivery Moogle. Because I can Treachery the Moogle. I don't really care if they chump there. I could play Odin, get another treasure, and play a Treachery. Yeah, if I'm cool with not getting the 5/6, then we have an explosive turn next turn. That's 2 counters. No, that's 1 counter. Odin is a creature, so it doesn't put counters. Or ping with the wizard. Heck dies. Heckin' heck dies. Alright, well, I've got the treasure, so we ditch the land. Black Mage's Rod. Not lethal, because I can't play all the removal. But it's pretty solid. I force a chump. They're just going to chump with Heck Dies. So am I on Odin here? Play the Rod and the Treachery, or I just play the Odin. Let's go Rod, Treachery, and then I've got more treasure as well for the future. I don't need to Treachery on attacks, I can do it on blocks. Because they're forced into a chump, which gives me the treasure anyway. So I can kill the biggest attacker here. This is bad if they have the hexproof trick. We're gonna send in just 3. Probably save this to kill a blocker then. There's no lethal combat trick in their hand if they're doing this. I have double removal in hand. 1 ping. Yeah, we take that then. That's horrifying. Gaining life off this stuff now. Okay, but it looks like that just dies. It's safer to do intervention because I also gain life off this one. It does just die. All right. And then even if they had removal there, they were dead because we pinged them down to 2 off of casting that, and they kill the 8/8. No, I guess they would go to 1 because the salvage is going to gain life when it dies. So they'd go up to 5, and then or sorry, yeah, they'd go up to 5 to take the 2 pings. It's the different order. Okay, they take the 2 pings, then go up to 3, and then take 2 from this creature. Yes, if they did have the removal for the 8/8 here, they could live that turn. But then I have the 5/6 blocker, but I'm taking 5 in the sky. I'm going down to 6 here. A re-equip of Lance could have killed me. Yeah. That might have been the wrong way to do it. I mean, obviously we still got the win anyway, but we could have won through a removal spell if I sacked the 2 treasures before I did that, or, well, spent 1 and sacked 1 treasure to put this onto the 0/1. Then even if they had instant speed removal for this 8/8, we would ping them to 2, they'd gain 1, go up to 3, and then these would hit for 3 and they'd die. All right, there was a slightly safer way to do it, but still get the win there. That is 3-0 heading into game 4. All right, here we are for game number 4. Solid opening hand as always. Loving this deck. We are on the draw here. There's the Chocobo to start things off from our opponent. We've got the Treachery to just pop that off the board. Turn 2, which will certainly be the play. There's another Chocobo. That's a great target for Jill. This looks like a really solid start for us here. Ride the Shoot Buff to put a +1/+1 counter on the Chocobo, but sure, it's just gonna die here. And I've got double Sephiroth's intervention against the big green-red creatures like the Shoot Buff itself. They just passed the turn there. We got a bunch of removal up here. Poke for 2. Okay, didn't need to use removal, so we drop the Rod and hold up Treachery. Prompto. I'll probably Treachery that in response to the landfall trigger of the Shoot Buff. Sure. They need a combat trick to keep this around. I don't think it's worth sacking anything to try to counter a combat trick here. If they want to spend a whole combat trick to keep it 3/3, that's fine. Then I can just intervention it later. Alright, that's a pretty good combat trick to have. Because they get a land out of it too. But I'm still very confident in our position here. Especially with Quistis as the draw. Quistis sack herself feels not bad at all. Although, what's in their grave? Nothing super relevant. I could get a Chocobo and then they can't get the Chocobo later. They're 13 already. This is a 5/5 though. I think I just need to kill that instead. T-Rex are some life here. Jam 5. Land, they got the 7/7 shoot buff available. They're just going to main phase it, hit for 7. That's our deck right there. Goodbye 7/7. Swing 5, kill them next turn. Or swing 4. Don't. No, I do kill them next turn, yeah. Ping 1 and then hit swing 4 for 5 damage total. Alright, this game. Here's the 5 damage. And that is 4-0 heading into game number 5. Here we are on the play for game 5. Start things off with Black Mage's Rod and then play all of our great non-creature spells. Never mind, start things off with Planisphere. Then play all our great non-creature spells. One, 4. Can't attack through that. But I can block it. Magitech Infantry, great card. Gets them more infantries. Infantry's pretty decent against our deck since it's all 1/1 removal. But I don't think I'm supposed to treachery this infantry over just holding up the counter. Maybe I am. This gets to the 3 power stat line now. Keeps the second off of us. Yeah, no, this is fine. Maybe since I had the mana, it was better to move this and then have 2 toughness creatures. And they're gonna combat trip protect it. Nope. I don't think I'm gonna move this post-combat, am I? Because then if they blow up this one creature, I can't tap out for these spells later. Yeah. I should have moved this pre-combat, I think. Dang. Yeah, blue's pretty good against job select cards, so blue's got a pretty decent matchup against us, with one of our best cards being a job selector. Taking 4 on board right now if I let them keep their stuff. But then I move the Planisphere over before I do anything. Could just drop an Ultimecia. They need a removal spell for her. Yeah, I can drop Ultimecia this turn. Set up the draws. Jill and a Treachery. We keep those draws. I almost think I want Treachery first, weirdly. They're both really good. We'll go Jill first. Treachery giving us a equip of Planisphere plus play removal is nice. But Jill is like I can play Jill and equip a Planisphere, which is also nice. Yeah, this is still pretty good. I guess I am giving them a draw a card, discard a card here. Now I can Treachery and Swallowed by Leviathan in the same turn. If I equip a Rod to a creature that has lost all of its abilities, does it still get the Rod ability? I'm not sure, probably not. I mean, Treachery is great against that. So we can just do the Treachery here. And hold up the counter. Win this race with this hero token already being 3 power. As soon as I cast one more non-creature spell, we win the race because we get a ping plus it's 4 power. So just keep Swallowed by Leviathan to protect this creature. So I'm not spending removal on Sid. when I want to hold on to the counter spell to protect our threat. Unfortunately, I'm 1 mana off from doing both of these in one turn, which would be really good. Delivery Moogle. Do they have a 2 mana artifact-based removal spell? That would be devastating. Probably not. It's probably a Magitech Infantry, so they can tutor out the other one. Monk's Fist, that's fine too. Draw a card, discard a card. Rook Turret putting in work this game. Like, for real. Land is super bad, because I can't counterspell with nothing on the stack, so I can't attack here. I might die for the sequencing of not having a counterspell be cast this game. Because if they just don't cast anything else for the rest of the game, we lose now. It should be brutal. Thank goodness we have a chance. Not a huge one, but a chance nonetheless. If I hit any removal, we win, so it's actually a pretty solid chance, considering the amount of removal we have. I might lose for not playing this land, because 1, 2, 3, 4. Card collection, I have 3 up. I won't be able to play a Sephiroth's Intervention if I draw it. Oh boy. Wow, yeah, I might lose, since I didn't play this land right now. Because then if I draw a land and a Sephiroth's Intervention, I can play both. Well, no, it's draw 3, discard 2, so if those were my draws, I could only keep one of them anyway. So I have to spend 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 3 mana spell that can kill that. I still have 2 Veins Treacheries. A Cornered by Black Mages? Cornered by Black Mages wouldn't work. So I need exactly Veins Treachery if I keep this on top. But if I mill, I'm going for a blind draw, a 1 out of, like, 1 random blind draw. I need a 1-of card that wins. I'm not gaining any life here. So 1 removal spell doesn't win unless it kills specifically the 1/1. But then my Sephiroth's Interventions are outs too. And my side quest Hunt the Marks. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. I have 9 outs if I mill this. But if I instead cast it to draw 3 and dig towards something, since I'll only have 3 mana up, at that point, with only 3 mana up, I would be drawing 3 cards for 2 outs. I think it's better to draw 1 looking for 9 different outs than draw 3 looking for 2. I think. The math is insane. I think we mill that. Got a 9 out of 23 chance in winning this game. Okay, it's better than 9 out of 23, because Revelation can hit any removal spell we have except for Odin and cast it, so 8. I can look at the top 3, and there's 8 different outs we can hit here. And that's one of them, Sephiroth's Intervention. Oh boy! I don't think I curved that out right. We needed to have a more guaranteed spot to use the counterspell earlier. And it was a little risky killing Sid instead of a flyer and going for like a longer game here. Terrifying, but we still get a victory there. That was blood pumping there. That is 4. No, that's 5-0. We won 5 games in a row. We've played 5 games in a row. Arena just didn't count the first win. So that's 5-0 heading into game number 6. Here we are for game 6. We are 5-0 right now, and we desperately have to draw a swamp for this hand, but turn 2 Planisphere is one of the best things this deck can do, and a single swamp guarantees a Sephiroth's Intervention, which then gives us a really good late game Quistis reanimation. It's a risky keep, but I want to do it. There's some really powerful upside to this hand if we draw well. Island 4 is the draw. Arena's got to nerf us a little bit after the 5-0 win streak here. We're on 9 swamps and 8 islands. So swamps are now more than twice as likely to be drawn than islands, because there's 4 left. 4 islands left and 9 swamps in the deck. Playing against blue-red, this could also be a bit of a more awkward matchup, considering they could have blue bounce spells. Oh my god, we hit another double black spell. Awesome draws so far this game. As long as I get a single swamp this turn, we're still very, very in this game. But the longer it takes, the less likely we are to win, because Vivi can kill us really, really quickly. She's an incredibly explosive card. So every turn we miss this swamp is going to be really painful. Somehow draw a 5th island before one of our 9 swamps. You love to see it. Call the Mountain Chokebow. That's also pretty good against us. 2 creatures off 1 spell thanks to the flashback. This is going to be a really disappointing loss here, because like we have all the tools we need to basically blank everything they've done if we just hit lands on curve. They wouldn't be getting any extra mana here, doing any storming right now. They would just be in an absolute dirtle fest like we are. Okay. Get it a little off curve. Cast another 4-mana spell. This is going to flip into a 6/6 that pings me for 3 when it attacks. Non-creature, non-land cards engraved. Oh wait, no, for 1? Okay, it doesn't ping very much, but it will be a 6/6. I still think Vivi's worse. Right now, we have to kill Vivi first and then take a big hit and then kill the Emperor. They're just going to call the Mountain Chokebow to flip the Emperor here. That's the second time somebody's had to blow up the equipment and creature removal spell. That's really rough for us. Down to 8. Second black mana is so good for us. Okay. I take more damage here, playing the non-life gain removal so that I can start getting treasure, which is very important towards getting a 5/6 blocker ASAP. The one beneficial part of this matchup is that blue-red is going to run a lower creature count by a little bit. Man, perfectly timed to counter our cornered by black mages. Disappointing. I mean, this is still reasonable, though, because just killing the black mage token is fine by me. I need to not take any ping damage as well. They got a lot of blue mana up here, that's a problem. If they end up countering the intervention, which is super possible for them. I guess I'll wait and cast this during their turn to soak up some of their mana on their counterspell in their turn at least. Next turn we get to Quistis, Sephiroth's Intervention, and flip a 5/6 blocker up. Next turn's going to be incredible if we live long enough to see it. We'll see. Okay, I've got the treasure tokens to pay for a Syncopate now. Since they tapped into just 2 mana up, they have counter unless I pay 1. I suppose I should just do this right now, because it'll impact if I want to chump block or not. If it resolves, and it does resolve. So I will not be chump blocking, I'll just take 1, go to 6. Syncopate is such a draw. I do need to kill 1 creature here to make sure I get a treasure, so I will not have Syncopate up for 1 turn. They have 5 mana removal. 4 mana, I have to intervention, so I'm killing the Chocobo instead of the Elder. Yeah. I'm gonna have Syncopate for a tiny bit, but basically an irrelevant Syncopate up. Okay, we are safe on the ground. Just need to deal with any flyers or pingers they play. They've got a lot of cards left over, so I'm still not feeling comfy at all. But we'll see. I guess if they, like, try to Chocobo Comet our face, just deal 8 to my face, then I do have the Syncopate up, so that's nice. I kind of hope that's the play now. That would be an awesome Syncopate here. Oh my god, yeah, let's go. That's so good for me. Alright. We do still lose one of our treasures, sadly, for our big indestructible guy. That is not a good draw, but I got a lot of gas I could hit here. Feel okay for the top deck war. They still have some spells though. I'm scared. Okay, Thief's Knife. Okay, that's actually very good here because they can just put it on the Elder to force me to chump. If they have double removal, it's super bad. She'll put Quistis in Grave instead of Exile, I guess. I've got the mana. Alright, I have to stop attacking, so I hold them off the Thief's Knife. Alright, they will... Wait. Okay. They will not draw one. They don't have 4 mana to re-equip. That's fine, actually. I'll take one. That's such a draw. Oh, that's so good. Resentful Revelation, baby! Odin or Jill? Who's better? Probably Odin. Odin threatens to immediately win the game. The lose to is genuinely painful, but again, this threatens to literally immediately win the game. I think I'm not attacking this turn. They are forced into a chump next turn. If they don't clear the path here. Man, if their blue-red deck is running the active treason, we could get killed here, because they could active treason Yasmat, force us to chump with Odin. Active treason is the steal a creature till end of turn and give it haste. Untap it. So they would steal the creature we can't sack, and then equip the other one with Thief's Knife, so that's 7 power on board, and I'd have to block with Odin to not die. Draw. Find the removal so they're dead if they don't have a way to kill Odin or counter this removal. So we definitely go for it. The Odin one-shot kill, if he deals combat damage to you, I win the game. Ah, they do have the removal for him. Sure. This is still fine. They now have no threats on board. We hit for 5, they're down to 7. I get to draw another card here. I don't think we play around haste at 7 life. They need a 6 power haster to kill me. So we get this damage in to give them less draw steps to get out of this game. And we tap out on Revelation. Because it's a sorcery. Grab a Treachery. Grab a Treachery. It's a -6/-6 with a treasure on board. They pass turn. Counter spell is a sick draw too. When all your spells are sick, all your draws are sick. It's a good feeling. 11 cards in grave for this. Man, this is such a satisfying deck. Just hard control blue-black stuff here. Keep the counter spell for when they try to kill this so that they still just die, because I can just Treachery the turret. Make sure there's nothing they can do to tap our big dragon. There's the concession from our opponent. A rocky start there, but the deck is so strong it can wait till the 4th draw step of the game, like turn 5 or something, to hit the black source and still swing that game back in its favor. Even against the VV start, what a comeback there. Yeah, huge stuff. We are 6-0, still undefeated all the way into Diamond Tier 1 now. Here we are on the play for game number 7, 6-0. So this would be the final boss here if Arena didn't decide the first win didn't count. But that's okay. We'll just go 8-0, shall we? Heck dies. This hand is bad enough. That's not the worst for me. I just need to figure out what is the least important card. It's probably the 5-drop. Probably can't sit here and wait for that, but it could be Quistis, because she's also basically a 5-drop. But it's definitely one of the two. Let's go for the side quest. Hectize is very, very good against our deck. 1-for-1 removal is incredibly bad against that card. So if nobody else in their draft pod took any copies, that's going to be bad for me. I feel like we were like the only black drafter in our draft pod, and we still didn't see a single copy of Hectize. So hopefully it's just deceptively rare. Garland, hello. Okay, his draws are pretty bad. Kept a 2-lander. We go non-land draw, non-land draw. So we've missed 2 land drops in a row here. I'm going to have to Treachery the Garland. They will be able to reanimate it eventually, but I just need to slow them down for now. And our Black Mage is not getting any good blocks in anyway, so do it during our turn for combat damage. So we kept this hand despite it being a 2-lander because it only needs a single land draw to then be able to cast the majority of the hand and dig for more lands. We have the Surveil 2 counterspell and the draw a card, discard a card, Lock Coal. And there is that land. With how aggressive this game has played out so far, I don't think I can just hold up the counter. Although I would prefer to in terms of getting towards more mana. And they're black and red, which are pretty removal heavy colors. So Lock is pretty likely to just die here. I guess I'm probably supposed to just hold up the counter here to Surveil. Although then it's pretty bad if they just play no spells, they just swing and pass the turn, but that feels very unlikely since they also haven't played a land in a while. So this is counter unless they pay 2, so I don't need to mill anything to get this to resolve. That's so depressing. Both of our Hunt the Mark side quests were in our deck before 5 mana, so we just don't get any of them. They just clumped up way before our lands. Okay, I gotta play the defense here. I mean, I take 10, I swing back for 3. I'm 1 mana from interventioning something here and actually having the race in my favor. You know what? No, we'll keep this on board. We did just Surveil closer to lands. We've only seen 3 so far. 13 cards deep. So yeah, the odds were getting pretty good for us there. I do not love the value of Sephiroth's intervention on the Hectize, but I think it's the play here. Weirdly, and then now we're trying to get to a Quistis flashback to kill the next creature with the equipment on it. Reno and Rude, they're pretty good. Land, 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 land. No 2 lands in a row, as awesome as that would be. They do have to consider blocking a little bit here, so I think I swing and then card collection. Because they can just put the Greatsword on the Menace card. Yeah. We're happy with the trade. I don't have to worry about that. Definitely discarding the other card collection here. No lands. Goodbye 6-drop. We're now 18 cards deep. We have 4 of our 17 lands. Well, they are down to 7. Close game, 7-7. Everybody's hurt here. Nah, one of the biggest bomb rares in the format. I've got like tons of ways to kill it, but they get a black mage no matter what. This is what makes it so good, even if I kill it immediately here. I think I have to Treachery so that I also Treachery the other creature, because if I just Sephiroth's Intervention, I'm taking 4 minimum next turn. So I have to sack. I think the Rod, because I can immediately hit for 4 in the sky when I play any creature if I keep the card out instead. And we Treachery after they declare an attack, because otherwise they could re-equip the Greatsword to the Black Mage. Alright, next draw step, we will be halfway through our deck with less than a third of the lands. I called it. Yeah, that's crazy. But their board's a single 0-1 now. The 0-1 does ping me over and over. Our opponent has the exact same mana issues, but they've also surveilled and drawn much less than us. This is insane, the draws this game for either player. There's no 1 mana card in any graveyard, so I can't Quistis here. Believe they're just holding removal for Lock Coal, so I can't imagine that's right either. Although that lets us hit for 4 immediately. It's a 2-turn kill. Yeah, sure. 2-turn kill. They probably kill the vehicle and Lock Coal, though. We'll see. We know they're on all spells. Yeah, so removal on that. Removal on Coal. I guess this is +3, so if they have 3 non-creature spells they can cast in 1 turn, we die here. They do have the double removal. Come on, land for Quistis, please. What on earth, man? 21 cards deep now. I think I have to Sephiroth's Intervention. I can't, though, can I? Because Treachery is only -2/-2. I have nothing to sack for it. Oh, I died to like any haster. I died to Lightning Bolts, but Lightning Bolt's on the bonus sheet. I don't think there's any main set card outside of the X mana Choco Comet that can deal damage straight to face. They've hit their 5th mana now. 17 cards deep. We have not 21 deep. Oh god, really? They get to Kuja again now. Cards love showing up at the exact last possible moment for us to have even a tiny chance. There's only one line we can do here. We do this, they cast Kuja, and then we intervention the Kuja, but they get to keep a mage again, which is terrible with us at 4 after intervention resolves. They hit another mana here, so they could cast a 2 mana or less spell alongside Kuja and get a ping. If they have another removal spell, we are just dead. because they kill Quistis and then equip Greatsword. That's a ping when they cast the removal spell, and then they move Greatsword and hit for the final 3. So ping 1, equip, attack 3. I mean, what are you going to do? Those draws were astronomically unlikely. We could not hit lands for the life of us. Arena is definitely angry with the win streak here. And it steals that 7th win from us. 6-1. Heading into that final boss with 2 rounds in the chamber. Here we are for game 8. We are 6-1 right now. This hand is impossible to get mana screwed, so we definitely keep. I should not say impossible after last game. I really shouldn't. This hand can't get mana flooded unless I draw literally nothing but lands, because I get to ditch 2 of them for 3 other cards with card collection. And so far we're doing decent. Castle Guard is annoying for our Black Mage. They are Boros, which is a pretty quick deck, and we've drawn none of our cheap removal, despite having like 12. So we will take some early damage. Ash, oh god, please cheap removal. Not exactly removal, but I think still necessary. Stop them from drawing a bunch of cards here. I've hit enough lands, I know I can keep curving here, even if I just play Jill this turn. And then Ultimecia is going to be the really big blocker to force them to have their own removal to attack in with Ash profitably. And Ultimecia off the Surveil 2 can try to find that 6th land for Odin. So I can just hold off on card collection for later and keep playing to the board for now. Alright, they're going to double spell with 2 2-drops instead. Adelbert and a White Mage's Staff, you got it. There's our side quest, Hunt the Mark, which I do enjoy a lot. Start the treasure token shenanigans here. Yeah, get rid of the lifelinker, start the treasure tokens. Feels decent. I think we are locked in for a great long game, so I'm going to start holding back here. If they send in the 2-2, we will trade the 2-1 Black Mage off. Yeah, because clearing out some of their board also helps make it more likely the Odin gets in. If they have any removal, I expect Jill to get killed. But they haven't done anything to Jill. Hey, Joshua. Got an Odin for you. I hope I hit a land here so I don't have to sack a treasure, but I will if I have to for Odin. Awesome. So now I've got an Odin and I'm working towards the 5/6 dragon at the same time. They have to chump block or kill Odin, or they're dead next turn. Alright, killing Odin is fine. It is still a 2-for-1. We have killed their removal spell and their Joshua. Gotten another treasure for the side quest. We are 1 away from the 5/6. I've got only 1 card in grave, surprisingly. Ew, Sandworm. Oh, that's actually good for me, filling my grave more towards Ultimecia. I probably have to card collection and just find a way to kill Sandworm immediately, though, because if they have removal for Ultimecia, we are mega dead. Okay, well, now I have Swallowed by Leviathan against removal, so I can cast Ultimecia as the blocker for Sandworm here. Set up the draws and hold up the counter. I mean, I'd rather just kill something this turn and get the 5/6, but I'd have to draw cheap removal to kill something without sacking a treasure. This feels like the safer play. Alright, I only have to sack the treasures here if they hit removal. Probably have to trade Jill off now, or at least be open to doing that. We milled both those cards because obviously we want 8 cards in grave for Ultimecia. If she sticks around. If she doesn't stick around, that's cool too. It's more important that we live than Ultimisia lives. And sadly, I think I have to counter that. And wait on Hunt the Mark for a long time here. Okay. When I say a long time, I actually mean we're going to get there real quick. Three, discard two. How much is this to equip? 3. That'll flip here and we'll have a 4/4 blocker up. It's so good, it's actually really hard to choose. I think I'm keeping the Planisphere though, because I can play it right now. And I can crew with that instead. Not that that really matters. It does mean I can crew through removal, which is good. Annoying, but I think we still have the winning board thanks to our enchantments sticking around. Yeah, we can still get there here. I mean, double Hunt the Mark's obviously just ridiculous together. I'm almost out of threats in my deck, so I do really need these to both turn into 5/6s, so I kill them with those. But that should be really easy to do. We just kill the Freya next turn. But yeah, they've dealt with Jill, that thing, Ultimisia, and the summon. Yeah, these are literally the only threats left, basically, are the 5/6s. I have a Lock Coal, I guess, and another card collection. But yeah, it's going to be all in on the dragons. Go to 6. Just sack the 0/4 to that. I'm not super into it. I like getting the Black Mage, but I think we can probably get them to chump with Wall of Omens against the 5/6 dragons, and then Black Mages later. Oh, they're legendary? Oh god. Okay, we could mill out here with just one of them. If they have specifically the exile removal, the white aura site, then yeah, we are definitely at risk of milling out. I guess I get rid of the chump here then, at this point, and start getting Black Mage pings off every kill. To speed this up, that makes it just a 2-turn clock from here. I mean 3 total if you count that swing. Sabatender's fine. Land for turn, sure. I think I have to kill it pre-attacks again, so that this is guaranteeing that they're down to 5 and then one more swing. So they have just one top deck to hit another blocker. And then if they do hit another blocker, I could hit another removal spell. I still have a good chunk of those. I don't have any more threats, but I actually haven't drawn any Sephiroth's interventions. So I have at least the 4 Sephiroth's interventions left. But it does look like they didn't draw creatures, so they concede there. Yeah, I drew 0 Sephiroth's intervention that game. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you have a randomly shuffled deck. These games have been really weird. There's a lot of just strange draws going on. Obviously, the lands last game were horrific, but then this one, it's like, we hit all of our threats. So if they hit one exile spell, I would definitely mill out. Yeah, crazy, crazy stuff. But that is 7-1. That is a trophy run from this incredible deck. If Arena didn't want to cheat me out of the run for the deck being too good, but because Arena wants to cheat me out of the run, and the first win for no reason on earth didn't count at all, we got to get an 8-win run with this deck. So, time for the final, boss. with 2 rounds in the chamber, 7-1, heading into round 9. All right, we are on the draw for this final boss. We have the Black Mage's Rod, the Jill, and 2 pieces of cheap removal. Exactly what you want to see in an opening hand. I'm very happy with this one, and we're playing against Boros again, where Jill is quite favored for being able to kill one of their job select tokens while putting a threat on the board. I'm going to lead with the Black Mage's Rod because we're going to be casting so many non-creature spells throughout the game, as we have been doing all draft. So I want to get as many pings as possible, and I'm okay with taking 2 from the shopkeep in order to set that up. I might be taking 4 from the shopkeep, because if they play an equipment here, I'll play Jill instead of removal. Suplex the Black Mage's Rod. That's kind of annoying for us. And then Magitech Infantry is the play. No tokens from our opponent yet. I think I want to kill the infantry so they can't tutor the other one over just killing the shopkeep. And I don't want to Jill if they don't have a token on board, because they are a color pair that's very likely to have tokens. I mean, especially if they're not going to play this without job select equipment being in their deck. Down to 16. Dragoon's Lance, perfect. There's our Jill target. And then, honestly, Jill trading into the shopkeep is not the end of the world if we want to just slow things down here. Which might be the case, because we're missing land drops, and we need to get to 4 mana, or we have almost nothing left in the hand. So just leveraging Jill as another removal spell here to buy time is probably where it's at. Technically, I should have sent the 1/1 in and did that main phase 2, because I'm pretty happy if they trade their 2/1 into my 1/1, but they weren't going to do that. I don't think it matters. Suplex on Jill, tragic. So shopkeep will remain. Go to 14. That is land 4, an excellent draw. I'll just Sephiroth's Intervention after they declare attacks, because they might spend all their mana to equip the shopkeep with the lance pre-combat. And that soaks up all their mana for the turn. They also might just play a better creature. Alright, nope. They don't have a better creature to play right now for 5 or less, so they just go for the equip. Let me go for the intervention. Planisphere is an excellent draw. This hand has got some finishers now. The Planisphere, the side quest, and the Ultimecia. So it's got all those and 3 pieces of removal because the side quest is removal. And then the 2 hard removal spells. Or dedicated removal spells. There's the Gala Cat. Pretty big, spooky threat. Too big to get treachered without sacking something, so I could sack our 1/1 hero. If I do it right now, then even if I hit a land, I can play Ultimecia the same turn that I kill that. But if I hit a land right now, I'd rather just play the side quest anyway, so I'm just going to wait till I draw. If I hit the land, I'll play the side quest, and if I don't, I can still just treachery since I couldn't play anything else anyway. We did hit the land, so we get to hunt the mark here. Which is wonderful. Poke for 3. If we have the extra mana lying around, should start moving this equipment back and forth to make both of these mid-sized threats instead of making one of them really big. Looks like that's not going to be a problem, because they're just going to kill the bigger one immediately. So obviously we'll move it later, but they're down to 1 card in hand. I think I can afford to just try to get an Ultimecia going here. I can definitely afford to just let Garuda die to its own ability. It's going to be hitting me 1 time for 4 damage. and then it'll sack itself next turn. These are both awesome draws. I don't have the 6 mana yet. I guess Ultimisi's going to go slow, because I'm not going to get rid of any of these. But that's fine, because after they get their one swing with this Garuda, again, they'll have nothing on board. And I'll have 3 removal spells in hand. Castle Guard. Castle Guard's very nice against the 1/1 removal. We don't have any exile removal here. We're not in white. So they will get a 1/1 off of the Castle Guard, and even a 1/1 is relevant when you have equipment on the board like Dragoon's Lance. They might just equip Lance right now. I mean, they've got the 4 mana up and nothing else to do with it, potentially. No attacks. I mean, I guess they are at 13. They do have to preserve their life total. Looks cool with me. I'm cool to attack here because the chump is not free. I guess if they double block, it's not great for me because then I have to spend a removal spell. So Ultimisia stays on board when she transforms, so if I put counters on her, she'll keep them, which is cool. But it's still better to put counters on the smaller card for now. Theoretically, I like that I can attack with Ultimisia and get them to just chump with this and then get another treasure without having to spend a removal spell. The problem with that is that they can double block and then I have to spend a removal spell anyway. I guess I could still do it here. I only have to spend removal if they block. And I was kind of going to do it regardless. Okay. We will spend the removal. Again, this isn't even that good. Garuda was going to sack itself anyway, and I was going to have to treachery something here to get a treasure anyway as well. +2/+2. Yeah, I mean, I'll do this as well to counteract that. I will not sack something because I don't have to still win that fight. Cool. I've got 5 cards in grave after the Dust Sittles there. I could just use a treasure on Odin. But I'm 1 treasure away from flipping the side quest, so we'll do that instead. And they're just going to concede anyway. We'd hit for 8 this turn, kill their only creature left. Yeah. We'll take it. We are 8-1. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about this deck. This was just an incredible draft pod. This was the best draft pod, draft seat that we've been in. All set long, I think. All format long. Black was just so incredibly, exceptionally open that we got 4 Sephiroth's Intervention, 2 Hunt the Mark, and 4 Treacheries. Incredible interaction out of the black. We also got cornered by black mages. We pulled a Primal Odin, which was great. And of course, because black was incredibly wide open, we also got some nice late blue-black signpost uncommons that helped us out with our secondary color, which is blue, because we took an early Jill for some high card quality out of blue as well. The Planisphere being great too. Blue, again, certainly a less open color, just as open as it is on average, just an average blue draft pod. But because of how open black was, getting a decently open secondary color with a great like pack 1 pick 1 style rare made this deck absolutely absurd, to where I really think there was absolutely nothing particularly wrong with this deck. It has that risk of being very low on win conditions and potentially milling out in the late game, and that was terrifying in our first game, but it still has plenty of really impactful later game cards to help it out. A couple of ways to counter removal and try to keep those threats around, and I think that that's really not the biggest risk at all. We didn't lose a single game to that. We only got close 1 time. I guess 2 times. There was the other game. We still had like 14 cards left, but we'd already played all of our big threats. if they did find a way to kill our Yasmat there. So yeah, that's the one flaw, I guess I would say. But in terms of how it played during the gameplay, the only loss we got all draft was a just really unlikely amount of mana drawn that game. We got literally halfway through our deck before we hit the 5th land. We got over halfway through the deck before we hit the 5th land, I should say. Whereas on average, with a 17 land deck, half of 17 is 8.5. So we were like 22 cards deep on 4 lands instead of the average, 8 that you should have by that points. So that was really rough luck on the land draws there. But our opponent was having somewhat similar land draws. They also got stuck on mana for a little bit, but again, they drew much less cards than us and still hit the mana before us a little bit. So that was really just really bad mana for the one loss, and that can happen any deck. So yeah, I mean, if you wanted to make this picture perfect, literally unbeatable, it's probably like -1 intervention or treachery or something, like -1 piece of interaction for just like one more really good top end win condition, just to make it slightly less likely to mill out, as that was the only big risk this deck had. But I have no complaints. This deck was insane. It was so good, in fact, that we went 8-1 with it. We got 8 wins because Arena didn't want to count that first one. Yeah. Super, super cool stuff. Incredible run. The only bummer here is that technically we did get 1 loss, so I can't be like, yeah, we went 8-0. We didn't. We went 8-1, which is still pretty dang incredible. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more on your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.